So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Nancy Pelosi saying Britain's moves to unilaterally discard the Northern Ireland Protocol are deeply concerning. Of course, the Nancy Pelosi has apparently been accused of, quote, bullying the UK, which is hilarious. The only thing she's really doing is dangling a trade deal in front of us. What I would say if I were her is if the UK violates the Good Friday Agreement or does anything to jeopardise it, there would be potential sanctions on the UK, especially since the US is a guarantor of the Good Friday Agreement. So Pelosi has described Britain's moves to unilaterally discard the Northern Ireland Protocol as deeply concerning. She restated her view that the US Congress would block any US-UK trade deal if the Good Friday Agreement was damaged by changes to the Northern Ireland Protocol. Of course, dangling this in front of the Brexiteers doesn't make any sense because we know from what other statements other politicians have made, like Liz Truss, that a UK-US deal won't be done before 2030, which is a long way away. If the United Kingdom chooses to undermine the Good Friday Accords, the Congress cannot and will not support a bilateral free trade agreement with the United Kingdom, she said. Now, that's a bit more interesting because bilateral agreements are different to a fully fledged free trade agreement. The EU and the US don't have a formal free trade agreement, but they do have a lot of bilateral agreements. So that one here is one she can dangle in front of the Brexiteers. Pelosi said the Good Friday Accords are the bedrock of peace in Northern Ireland and a beacon of hope for the entire world, which is true that two sides effectively had to put their differences aside and compromise is really powerful stuff. Ensuring there remains no physical border between the Irish Republic and Northern Ireland is absolutely necessary for upholding this landmark agreement, which has transformed Northern Ireland. There have been scuffles and a lot of other crimes and etc. that happened in Northern Ireland, but nothing as bad as the Troubles. She says it's deeply concerning that the United Kingdom is now seeking to unilaterally discard the Northern Ireland Protocol, which is true that the UK is now saying, we're going to reform it, not scrap it or repeal it. But the simple fact is we are changing it and getting rid of certain aspects of it, which isn't a good look. Negotiated agreements like the protocol preserve the progress and stability forged by the Good Friday Agreement, which is true that the Northern Ireland Protocol supports the Good Friday Agreement as it stops a hard border in the Irish Sea. The Good Friday Accords, which continue to enjoy strong bipartisan and bicameral support in the United States Congress. That, again, this is an issue that cuts both. There's only a few issues that unite both the Republicans and the Democrats, and Ireland and Northern Ireland are one of them. As I've stated in my conversations with the Prime Minister, the Foreign Secretary and members of the House of Commons, if the United Kingdom chooses to undermine the Good Friday Accords, the Congress cannot and will not support a bilateral free trade agreement with the United Kingdom. And I think she should make a stronger statement than that. I think she should talk about potential sanctions. and tariffs. Respectful of the will of the British people and of Brexit, which you don't really have to be because Brexit sucks, but I get why she's saying that. She says, I urge constructive, collaborative and good faith negotiations to implement an agreement that upholds peace. Again, an important statement here that she's saying, I respect Brexit, however the outcomes of Brexit cannot affect the Good Friday Agreement. The children of Northern Ireland who have never known the bloody conflict and do not want to go back deserve a future free of the violence where all may reach their fulfilment. And again, there's a whole generation of people who didn't know the kind of full-scale problems that the Troubles created back in the 70s to the 90s. I grew up not knowing anything about it because I was lucky enough to grow up in a time where there were no Troubles. Fair enough, I live in England, but you kind of get the point. The comments from Ms. Pelosi are a reminder of the ongoing interest in Northern Ireland at the highest levels in Washington amid political instability following the Assembly election. Let's not forget that the USA did play a key part in getting the Good Friday Agreement. So that and the fact that they're a guarantor of the Good Friday Agreement means that they should absolutely have a say in what's going on right now with the protocol. People like Lord Frost telling them to butt out is very stupid and very just arrogant, but then again, he's a lord, isn't he? He was never elected, so why should we be surprised? He's the one that signed up to the Northern Ireland Protocol, helped negotiate it, etc., and then said it was a great deal, then turned around and said it wasn't a great deal. So that's Lord Frost for you. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're going to have a lot more takes from a lot of other politicians on the protocol, so subscribe for that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.